Alrighty. We are live. As you can see, apologize for the quality of the camera. One of our cameras is not holding its charge, so we're making do for now. As always, I am T-Bear. This is MackMan. Say hi to the folks, Matt.
Hello, folks. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for another amazing podcast. Podcast X.
I was gonna do the because you did that.
Oh, when last week. Yeah, when we signed off.
So I think I'm gonna make a shirt where it just has like the hands, and it's gonna have like a left chest. So merch coming soon, people.
Merch.
All right, all our fans out there that want to buy some merch.
The glow up will be real.
Yep, we're taking off. Episode 3, we're all caught up. Hopefully, one episode per week now. 20 to 30 minutes long is the goal. We're gonna have a special guest today. All right, so if you catch it, when I do these, and I asked Mackie before we started, I was like, do you look at the camera or do you look at the person you're talking to? And I wanted to be like conversational, so it's where it's like we're just relaxing, talking, because it's a little more easier, less nervous and whatnot. So I catch myself like talking to you because I am talking to you. Yeah. When I feel like I should be talking to the camera.
What camera am I supposed to?
We're going all over. Yep. We're just, you guys get along. You guys will get the hang of it, following along. Oh, I did want to touch base on one thing though. The spoiler, like I always catch you doing it, is you always spoiler alert. Always catch yourself.
Yeah.
But I want to just like either just announce it at the beginning or just not even announce it anymore, because I feel like that's annoying.
Okay.
I mean, not when you do it, but
no.
Anybody, anybody that watches our podcast and anybody that claims to be a real fan, like, you should already be caught up, And I remember this because it was back when like Walking Dead was the thing, and obviously, spoiler alert, when Glenn died, that was a big thing, that was a big thing. So, and then I remember we watched it, and I think somebody posted, like, not right away, but like the next day, that he died, then it just got a bunch of hate. I was like, okay, that's understandable one day. But episode 3 was what, Wednesday? So we're 3 days away.
We gave you an extra day, actually.
We're 3 days off, so like, I don't think we should have to. If you're really like invested that much to be upset about a spoiler alert, I feel like you should have watched it by, you know what I mean? Do you have the same stance, or I kind of have an idea of what you're gonna say, but I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Okay. No, I get that. I guess. So I'm thinking about some of our new viewers, because I had some like relatives like, hey, we got this podcast, you check it out. Oh yeah, I was checking it out, watching it. I got to get to this episode, whatever. But one of my friends that was checking it out, she's not like a big Marvel fan, so I don't even care. I don't think she'd even care with like a spoiler alert or anything like that. But I guess I think about like our new viewers coming on, like, hey, what is this about? And I don't want to get spoiled, but I get it though, because like there's a time frame where you should be able to watch this, and like I guess it also comes back to like, are we engaging these hardcore audiences or kind of like freshly new audiences? I kind of feel like it's like a mix, but yeah, I think we kind of established that each episode that your responsibility to watch this show before you tune into our stuff. We're basically talking about the episode, and we don't want you, if you haven't watched it, then don't watch our episode. Go watch the episode.
Our show.
Yeah, our show. You don't watch don't watch our show. Go watch this episode and then come back and watch the podcast show. Then
you can leave like comments and with disagreements or conversational points if you go back and watch, and that's what we want. We want, like it says across the bottom, since episode 1, like, comment, share, and subscribe, to the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for viewing. I don't have it pulled up on here. Episode 3, you want to kind of like introduce it or talk about episode? No, we're on episode 3. This was episode 5, right? I think I just had it.
Yeah, it's 5.
Episode 5, yeah. So episode 4 ended where? Go.
Yeah, so episode 4 ended with part 1 with talking about Storm and Forge, right?
Yep. Native American Cyborg.
Yeah, Native American Cyborg. That's how he's described online. He's trying to work with her to get her powers back, and then he finds out that he partially is responsible for why she lost her powers. And then there's this being that feeds off of misery, and we left off where the anniversary. What is it? Adversary. Yeah. Was just clinging on to Storm, and then we just kind of was cliffhanger from there. So I was just kind of shocked. I thought this next episode was gonna go straight into that story, but boy, was I wrong. My expectations.
I remember that. I was like, because I saw that episode start where it was going, where it ended, obviously, and then I was like, I remember Max said, I hope it doesn't just start a new story. I hope it picks up with, because it was life death, right, part one. And so I was like, I bet but it was a good episode. It was a good episode. Was it worth it? Was it worth prolonging life death part 2, waiting for it?
I don't think so.
She just got it over with.
She just got it over with. Right. Well, because like I was invested in that story. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen here? Yeah, I was invested. Now I'm invested to this new episode. I'm like, let's not end this now, because I'm gonna be upset if after this episode we talk about it picks up from life death, and I'm like, don't play with me, man. You know. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
But that keeps you like coming back, right? Because like, all right, life death, I'm coming back because I want to see part 2. And you come back, it's a whole different episode. So now I hope they do it. Next is coming episode. Does it get annoying though? Like eventually, or
it's like, here, I'll give it to you and then take back. Give it to you and then take back. I'm like, oh man, okay. But I think also, I think you're trying to like, I think it's another kind of creative way to keep pulling your viewers in to watch. She's like, so I'm invested into this life death story. It's not now, but I was like, okay, I got to keep watching the show until it comes. So it's a way to kind of keep them too. But I feel like the story should be strong enough to keep you coming back, though, which is it is. You know what I mean? In a way.
It was a great episode. Episode 5, loved it. Best episode. Personally, best episode, I thought. We'll talk about the intro, then we'll go into episode rundown of breaking down like the beginning, the middle, and the end of the episode. And right now, the intro. Anything you saw? You want me to go first?
I like you. So I'm loving how you do the intro, so I'm just gonna leave that to you. You do that.
All right. Yeah. So intro. Here's what I caught. Obviously, Gambit did the intro this time. The previously on. I caught that. And this episode, I watched it and I was like really pausing and like looking. I was rewinding, so I didn't really get to like just sit back and enjoy it. I did. Me and Marisol watched it, and that was the first time I just watched it nonstop all the way through.
Do you do that for each episode? Like you stop piece by piece?
No, the first time I did it was with episode 5 when I watched it by myself, and I was pausing and like trying to catch things, you know, just for the sake of and that's how I got these notes right here. But then I sat down and watched it with Marisol and just watched it all the way through. There was one moment where we paused it because she saw something, and it was pretty cool. Okay. So, but we'll talk about that. All right. So intro. Gambit does the previously on. Was Jean Grey always on the intro, or was she just added back? Did you notice?
Oh, I thought she was going to do that's a good question, if that was one, but you don't know either.
She come on, with Magneto, Cyclops, and then I want to say Jean Grey. So I thought it looked new or something, so I put it down in my notes. Oh, Jean Grey's back. Or here's what I put down on my notes. Jean Grey, Cable versus Apocalypse is on there.
I've seen that. I noticed that, yeah. Storm
versus the Warlocks. And then Gambit and Nightcrawler were fighting. And obviously Nightcrawler's another one of my favorite X-Men characters.
Has that so that happened before? Gambit and Nightcrawler fought before?
Yeah, they were fighting some Genosha warriors, or those were what's his name? Strikers, guards, or some shit. Okay. So they were fighting. And then it was a callback to Nightcrawler. He had his swords because he's an expert. Anyway. So I didn't go back and watch if Jean Grey was re-added or if this is but I watched another review because that's what we do. You know, we gotta
we take inspiration, but we don't steal ideas. Yes.
So like I said, I noticed something about Jean Grey. I was like, something looks different, or she looks new, but it was her hair. So when Madeline Pryor was Jean and she was in the intro, her hair was down. So then when Jean Grey comes back in Jean Grey, it's in a ponytail. So remember, like in the 90s when they would go and fight and battle and shit, she would always put her hair back in a ponytail.
Nice catch.
I didn't know. I didn't catch that. Someone I should have wrote down who did catch that. But okay. I was like, but I knew something. I put something look off. I was like, it looked different. But that's crazy.
I'm not a true fan anymore. I didn't catch that.
Well, I think like I said, I didn't catch it, so shout out to the YouTube video or whoever did, whatever video I watched. What else do I have? Like I said, Cable versus Apocalypse. What's your overall take on the intro? Do you feel like it kind of spoils what's coming that episode? Because so far, like we said, the previously on, whoever says that is usually a key component of the episode.
I don't want to say it's a spoiler. It just kind of like prepares you, like, okay, this is gonna focus on this character here, which is I like. But
because the animated series was just the same intro.
There was a different, there was a different like snippets throughout the intro, right? Is that what you're saying? Okay, yeah, and I like it, but also kind of like it takes. I don't want to say it takes away. It just confuses me as a viewer because I'm just like, okay, I gotta re-up on these stories. Like I just asked you, like Nightcrawler and Gambit. You know what I mean? But it's just been a while since I kind of went through the whole series again. But yeah, I kind of like it. But I kind of like also like, okay, this episode's gonna focus on this character here.
All right, good answer. Anything from the intro that you want to discuss that you saw, or did I kind of cover everything?
I think you hit it pretty well. like I said, you've been doing really good on the intros and noticing those things. Me, I'm just like, it's like your peas and veggies and fruit and main course. I just want to get to the main course, you know.
Meat and potatoes, man. Meat and potatoes. I like your shirt. I was gonna say that, but I love the shirt.
Not sponsored yet, but
not sponsored yet. I told MackMan to get me the soda you got. I asked Mac to get me a soda, and then we can't even show it now because our other camera is down. But he got this. We're gonna use your camera because it's good. He got this Coca-Cola, and I was joking. I said, "All right, we should put it up here on the counter for product placement." And I turned it around, and it already had a Marvel
Double D
logo on there with Double D, Matt Murdock, which is pretty cool. What a coincidence!
That wasn't even planned, honestly. Homeboy, Mr. T Bear, was hey, give me a Coke. I was like, all right.
Did you even look at it? You just grabbed it?
I just grabbed it real quick. I was like, I'm running on Indian time. I got to get here.
Running on Indian time.
And that was a moment to grab it.
All right. So, Coke, if you're listening, we need a sponsor for this episode. Podcast X. Episode rundown. Frog's going to cover the beginning of the episode. And then I'll cover the middle, and Frog will go back to the end. We'll talk about our likes and dislikes. Hopefully we're not here too long. Like I did mention, we have a special guest. I got some notes here. So as you're going, and then when you're done talking.
Just tell me like when you have the cutoff for the middle, because I guess I don't know when you would consider the middle part.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. That's what we do here. We wing it like a baby bird.
Baby bird.
All right. Episode.
Okay.
Beginning. All yours.
So in the beginning here, and kind of step in with me too if I missed some pieces. Cause I remember I kind of jarbled it up last time, but the team is talking about like the Genosha and having an invitation there and things like that, to get invited to come there and kind of discuss that process there. And then we also have an interview also going on at this time. I can't remember what the news is. I don't know what it is, but this lady starting, just that kind of doing some news coverage on the X-Men and things like that. And then this news lady was just kind of being really a little kind of like intrusive a little bit in a way, but I don't know, we'll get into a little bit more. So then the news person's there just kind of asking some questions about the X-Men and just how things are transitioning, and just kind of a little bit on Professor X and Magneto. And at the same time, we have a group of our mutants at Genosha just kind of doing I would say like a tour. Would you say like kind of like a tour or visit?
Yeah, they're having, because the United Nations just accepted Genosha, like you said, and then they're having like eventually gonna lead like a gala, like a peace summit. Together, and they want I don't think you got to that point yet, but yeah.
So it's just kind of going back and forth between that interview and in our team there, and our team's kind of at Genosha, just like really soaking in the culture there. And that was one piece I kind of like, but I'll go into more detail on that when we do our likes and dislikes, whatever. But yeah, so they're just kind of getting a feel for that, of the how Genosha is, and Rogue's really loving it, vibing there, and it's good to see our friend Kirk Wagner, that's his last name, right?
Wagner.
Okay. back and as Nightcrawler and just there and just kind of show him along the way and stuff like that. And then the team there eventually kind of meets with the other, they call them a council, right? It's a council. Okay. There's a council of mutants, and even Moira McTaggart's on her, which was Xavier's love, as Thang. And they even one of them, and they even made a comment like, well, why is there a non-mutant on this council? And he's like, well, she's
referring to her.
Yeah, and they said she's not a member. She's I said a weird name, but
it's like a liaison.
Yeah. But it was kind of like diminished her like role there. You know what I mean? But so yeah, they're starting to talk about that. I don't know. Do you want me to start talking about that?
I think you're good. Okay. I think like the middle is like that, what you're touching on, and then I would say like the gala.
The gala's like the middle part.
The end would be the end.
Okay. So then we're into the council. They're meeting, and basically come down to like, you know, someone was like, I don't want to admit it, but we think you're a good person to lead Genosha right now, and to Magneto. And Magneto's just like, you know, I don't know. Well, he's just kind of hesitant a little at first, whatever. And he has one request, if he were to do condition, to do it. And his condition is he wants to have Rogue as his queen. So like they're doing a king and queen kind of thing, right?
That's like how I kind of Rogue kind of words it as that. You want me to be a queen or whatever, but it's more like she was gonna take on, because they want X-Men to be a part of it, because the world views the X-Men as, and then because what's the senator lady name? I don't know her name, but she comes and says, "Oh, you guys want to make a terrorist your leader? Like, that's not a good view." So then that's what obviously Magneto does it for different reasons. He wants to get back with Rogue, but he also does like a smart way, you know, and knows like I said, the X-Men are viewed by the world as the good guys. So
then before we get to the gala part, they're having a conversation, dialogue back and forth, Magneto and Rogue, and he's just sharing that with Rogue, and Rogue's like not really seeing where he's coming from, and I'm kind of like a little green with Rogue, because in that one part she said, you're not doing this for Xavier's dream and because you want to pay respect to him, you're doing this for your self gain, and you're just kind of taking advantage of it basically, and I don't want to be a part of this. And so she was kind of like basically saying, Eric, you're doing this for your own benefits and own self gain and things like that. So I'm just thinking, like, is he really plotting that, or does he really care for Xavier's vision? We're still not all in on. I'm still on that fence, man. I'm not fully bought yet, so I'm just like, Rogue, I hear you, homegirl. I think he is. You think so?
I think it's he gets, because he ended the animated series at Genosha. He was just about to start like a mutant uprising. So I think like going back there and then like seeing the potential of it with all the mutants there, like, oh, we could do something with this, you know. I think it might come back into his head, like, but
I was just
that's your point, because if there's noise in the background, I want to apologize because my family is upstairs, the babies are asleep. This mic does pick up a lot of stuff, so we'll try to keep it down. That's why it's like
okay.
So but yeah, I just think he, like I said, it comes across his mind like, oh, we can do what I wanted to do. But I do think he's really trying.
He's trying to be, and I think he's trying to. I think he's trying. I just I'm fully not bought in, but I think it was really powerful too to see how like the community is so invested into Magneto. Like he has a statue of himself there. Even Xavier has a statue there,
and there's statues of him and Professor X, and they're both really big, so they both mean a lot to all the mutants, which is pretty cool. And then there was like even signs like just like in support of Magneto, and it said this was a callback to like I would say Avengers and Endgame, but on one of those signs it said Magneto is right. And so thought that was like the crowd there just really, they see Magneto in a different perspective, you know what I mean? And so I thought that was pretty cool, and like where his stance was there. So then anyways, Rogue and Eric are talking, and he said, I need, just let me know your decision. And she said, I'll let you, or kind of like get back to you in a way, or like we didn't really know if she just agreed or not right at that moment. And then do I talk about her and Gamut's conversation? I think this is right before the gala.
Okay.
I want to bring up some other stuff about the beginning.
Okay.
I'll just go down my notes. I put we know all the villains, know where the X. Oh, so that, like you mentioned, the interview, and so all the villains just know where the X-Men live now, because she says this is the home of the X-Men.
Oh.
So I was like, that's like, okay, it's all the bad guys. Because remember, like, I thought of the Iron Man movie when he's like, this is where I live, and then his house ends up getting blown up later down the road. So he's putting all them kids that are actually going to school there, because that is a school.
Yeah.
You know, it's a preparatory academy or something, like for college. Low key, just a training grounds for the X-Men place. So, but it's actual school too. So, like, for them to come out, and that's what I thought of. I was like, gee, they just put all those kids at risk.
Come attack us. You know what's funny, though? Like, in the Deadpool 1, Negasonic Teenager kind of makes a joke about that. Because she's like, I want to be out there with the other X-Men. I'm just always stuck at the mansion that gets blown up every other season or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's true.
But Genosha is now part of the UN. We talked about that. Pryor is running Genosha. So Madeline Pryor, when those three, Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto land, Madeline Pryor is the first one to greet them off the Blackhawk, the new Blackhawk, because the other one got blown up. So Madeline Pryor, of course, is the clone, not the fake Jean Grey, basically. So, and there's some other things going on, which we'll talk about. Nightcrawler is back. I was excited about that. There's a bunch of little cameos throughout when they're walking Genosha. Another thing I thought was weird, when the interviewer was interviewing Cyclops, she referred to Jean as Marvel Girl. So I don't know if that was like, if for some reason it's like, oh, maybe like I feel like this is like a Mr. Sinister thing going on. Maybe he's like in control of this interview or something. I don't know. But I just thought that was weird that they referred to her as Marvel Girl. But the scene at the lake with Wolverine and Jean Grey, was that part of the beginning, or is that in the middle more?
I would say it's about the beginning. I totally spaced that part too. And
Big Marisol was like, oh, so she's just a hoe, huh? So she's had a moment of weakness, all right? They had things in the past together. So there's a scene where Jean Grey's like in the water, and like pushing the water, using her powers, and there's
it's almost like her own Cerebro in a way, you know?
Yeah, there's like bubbles of water that have like memories, projected memories of hers. She's trying to remember what's real, or what's her memories and what's not. Wolverine walks up, and they just kind of share a moment, talk and whatnot, and he says some stuff like, what was one that I like? He's like, oh, drowning your memories or something. Know all about that or something. And then she said something about like remembering stuff, and then he says, I thought this is cool. He said something about like, this old face hasn't changed in 100 years. Because you forget, like, Wolverine was born like in the 1800s. He, because of his mutant ability, he doesn't age like a normal person, and his healing factor. So he's old. So he says that was pretty cool. I thought, just a reminder of like
his abilities and what he's been through so far.
And then they end up kissing. Well, she ends up kissing him.
She initiated that though, right?
Yep.
It was her.
You could tell he was nervous, like, because he actually broke a sweat. Did you see it?
I didn't see the sweat part, but I was like, okay.
He broke a little sweat, and then he was like, you're Jean Grey, he's Cyclops. You just forgot the rules or something. But that part kind of plays into the title, which I don't think we say what the title is. The title of episode 5 was Remember It. And I feel like this whole episode is kind of about, well, at the end you know why it was titled Remember It, but the whole episode kind of ties into like some type of like memory, or like remember.
Yeah, it's like a callback, and I think it's almost like remember why we're in this fight, or where we're at, you know what I mean? Part of like, Jean, remember who you are, but also like the Genosha, remember what we're building and what we're doing here. And also remember what Charles was trying to establish for the mutant kind. So I think there's a lot of different things that tie back to that theme, you know.
What else did I have? Have Havoc. Havoc was part of that committee. There's Emma Frost. Was that Emma Frost? And then that Sebastian guy. They're part of the Hellfire Club. Is that what they're called? So they're not bad guys now?
So they were bad guys, especially Sebastian Shaw. But I think that things are just kind of not that way anymore. You know like, what I mean?
Emma Frost is kind of given like, because remember that. So there's a moment where Jean catches Cyclops.
Oh, I was going to mention that. Yeah, I totally.
I think this is in the middle, so it kind of lead into it now. Kind of cheating with Madeline Pryor still, because like, so Jean Grey, when she's talking to Wolverine, says we used to communicate psychically. Is that what she says?
Telepathically or whatever.
Yeah, telepathically, whatever. So she could like project like they're actually like meeting in person and stuff with their abilities, even though they're like across the world or whatever. So Jean Grey said that's what her and Cyclops used to do. So then come to find out, Cyclops is doing that with Madeline Pryor. You know, and Jean Grey catches him, calls him out, and then her and Cyclops get into an argument and they fight. And then Cyclops is like, "What about you? Do you even love me? Or do you just think that, or remember loving me? Or is it true? Or you know, that little issue still going on." So they call it like soap drama or soap opera drama.
So I noticed that too, and then like I was like, man, the camera crew's right there, and then Beast was like, put his head down.
It's like reality
this
TV. That's
good.
Like, just catching everything.
Right. I was like, oh man, this is not good PR for the X-Men, you know. And then I felt that too, and then like it was one part that's kind of powerful now that I think about it is like. He's like, I got a child with her. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm grieving.
I have a child with her. We have a kid together, and so like, that's the same idea I was thinking when she headed out. So I was like, okay, you guys had a kid together, now you're gonna leave, and so like, how's that dynamic's gonna play? Because in the real Jean Grey, that's not her actual kid. So like, is she gonna have feelings and attachment to the kid, even though it's not her? So I don't know. Yeah, so I'm kind of seeing that those ripples are still happening in these other episodes.
Yep. So they, Cyclops and Jean Grey are arguing. And then he ends up saying, or she asks him, "Do you love me, or do you love her?" And he ends up saying, "I love both of you." Like,
I want my cake. I want to eat it too.
Okay. So that's where they're at. And then at the end of their argument, Jean Grey's about to walk away, and then something like hits her. Like, or remember her?
Yeah,
mind?
she kind of like
explodes or something. She almost faints. She doesn't faint, but she almost faints.
She needs her powers.
Yeah. But Madeline Pryor also goes through that, and she kind of gets she's in that committee meeting, and then Jean Grey boots her out of Scott's mind to confront Scott. So like then Madeline Pryor comes to back to the meeting, and they're like, "Are you okay?
Yeah, you okay?"
And then she says, "Oh, my mind just drifted a little bit." And then Emma Frost kind of like villainly, or how would you say that?
I think it was like more snide, like, "Girl, I know what you're doing. Do you?"
Okay. I thought it was more like evil, like because she has this red thing here, and I forget again. Like that kind of reminded me of Sinister.
Okay.
Like I don't know if like.
So you still feel like Sinister's at play in kind of these ways?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he's behind these things or not, but Rogue spills the beans. Okay, so then we'll go into that after that argument. I feel like is that kind of all the important stuff.
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. So middle now, Rogue is telling Gambit the plan, Magneto's plan. Like, okay, he's gonna be leader. We're gonna make Genosha the best place ever, but he wants me to represent as like a queen, ambassador, blah blah blah, at his side. And Gambit and Rogue have everything, obviously. And I thought it was cool when they were talking. Gambit was just sitting back and just throwing his cards into the fire. And then when she finally gets to the point of like telling what she's gonna do, it stops on the Queen of Hearts. Did you catch that?
I did not catch that.
Queen of Hearts, I did catch that. And then he threw it in the fire. And then he was, so it's kind of like his Queen of Hearts.
You know what's powerful in that scene too, where he's like, well, I was just respecting what you wanted. You said not to get latched on or whatever. And now.
Yeah, because like we never went public. Like, yeah. He's like, I played your swamp rat. You know, so he's like heartbroken and whatnot. Then at the end of it, he could have like responded all ugly. But he was like, we'll be friends for now, you know, just friends. So he's crying, you know. It's kind of emotional scene because Gambit's my boy.
That was dirty.
Not that
though.
Emotional.
That was done dirty because it is though. It's like you were not exclusive. I mean, I'm probably upset because this is probably what happened to me. But we're not exclusive because that's what you wanted, and then now you're gonna go exclusive with something. Yeah, I definitely feel that pain, man.
But Rogue does share like her and Magneto's past. So her mom, she ends up hurting her dad, leaving her dad or something. Her adoptive mom, which we'll come back to because I thought this was pretty cool, takes her to Magneto to work on her powers, and they end up getting in a relationship basically, which is again weird because Rogue. How old would you say Rogue is?
I feel
younger, right? Compared to Magneto, anyway.
I feel like Magneto's like in his 60s, and I would say she would be in like her late 20s, maybe early 30s.
That's what I think. So that's what I just think is weird. So like even when they we'll go back before all this when I was younger, and he was younger, but he's still old. Anyway, they show like flashbacks of Rogue and Magneto the first time they find out they can touch, and she admits that they slept around and did some things together. They have a paint me like your French girl scene.
Yeah,
Titanic scene. He's using his powers. He's just looking over here, and he's got like 3 brushes using his magnesium powers and painting. But she ends up leaving him because she's like, I saw the demons he had, and he didn't have no room for my demons at the time. So she left because there's just too much going on. It would
too much baggage there.
Yeah, and then it gets to from there. The gala, which is that right?
Yeah, I would say
I don't
so.
think we go back to the mansion at all, right? Till when? All right, the gala. How do I address the gala? So then we get to the gala, the big party.
Everybody's all jazzed up.
Everybody's all jazzed up, dancing. Gambit's at the bar, heartbroken, drinking.
I didn't like his ponytail.
He looks weird with that.
Yeah,
thing, right? Because when Marisol saw him, like she said something. Like, what is that? Like I can't remember, a mask or something? I don't know. It's like a
face guard or something.
A hood, something. Yeah. Or something, right? Because
like,
does he have a ponytail mohawk? Because like at the end, not gonna spoil it too much, but it shows like the back of his head, and it looked like the sides were cut. So
you know why they were cut though?
True.
Because of what happened. So we'll get into that.
We'll get there.
Okay.
No, the gala. So everyone's partying. Archangel makes a cameo. Did you see him?
He was still kind of in his like
his metal wings.
His apocalypse.
Because last time we saw him he was
Deadly Horseman. Yeah, 4 Horsemen. Yeah.
Deadly Horseman. What the fuck was that? Oh shit!
I was thinking Warhorse Casino. Sponsor us, Warhorse Casino.
We need a sponsor. Warhorse Casino. All right, so Archangel makes a cameo. He flies by. 2 actually, because he flies back later. Nightcrawler's dancing with his dad,
Azazel. I saw that. I didn't know if that was him, but I assumed that was him.
I had to look at it, go back, pause. Like, it looks like him. So he's dancing. They're on the chandelier, like all the teleporters are up somewhere where you don't.
It's a whole ass vibe there. It's a whole vibe.
Like I said, there's a bunch of cameos. I had this one earlier, but Multiple Man. He's part of X Factor. That's Forge's team.
He was in that picture though too with the
Multiple
last.
Man?
Yeah.
Did you see him though when like they were going around the main Genosha?
I did not.
Multiple Man's like dancing, then he goes like this and like
a
bunch of people. So he made an appearance. Mackie is frozen. Oh shoot, you are frozen. Dang, how long you been frozen? Oh, we just gotta reset.
Sorry,
the
y'all.
camera.
This is kind of how things happen. We just kind of go with it. And shout out to our amazing viewers for letting us know. We appreciate you.
Yep. Okay. Go ahead and make a move. You're moving now. See, that's why we have it there, but it's not. That's buffering too.
Oh.
It's alright. That's just because it's connected to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
We're good. We're back up.
And we're back.
We're back. Mackie's not frozen. So like when it freezes though, I think the audio
freezes
still picks
too.
up the audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So, but just the cameras freeze up every now and then. So we just got to make sure we're checking.
Okay.
All right. Where we're at the gala.
So then, Multiple Man was dancing, and then
well, that was at the downtown when Rogue and Gambit were walking around.
Oh, that was downtown.
Something that you didn't mention. So Nightcrawler is kind of their tour guide, and Gambit notices the price of an apple is $10 up there, and he thinks something fishy is going on. So that's gonna come back, and I think that's where like the hellfire and all that stuff I think is kind of, I don't know, kind of. Gambit thinks it's fishy. I think it's fishy.
Gotcha.
All right, so Magneto's there talking to those other people, talking to that senator, and then Rogue shows up, and they kind of dance just to show like, okay, we're doing this. We're your leaders. We're a team right here. And then Madeline Pryor she gets hit with that. What are we calling it?
I would say like a shockwave, but psychic shockwave.
But it's like in her mind, right? A mental shockwave.
Yeah, mental shockwave.
It kind of hits her hard enough to make her nose bleed. So I think she goes outside.
And she's like staggering too away.
Yeah, she starts hearing things, and she's staggering. She makes it up to the balcony. And motherfucking Cable shows up. Right?
First like she hears it like faintly.
She hears him.
Like, shut the music off.
Yeah,
he's coming.
Shut the music off. He's coming.
And I was like, what?
Did it sound like Josh Brolin to you?
I guess it didn't stick out with me if it did. I don't know.
I wrote that down. I put
Was
Josh
it?
Brolin? It sounded like him.
It wasn't him though. Oh, okay.
Because he plays him in the Deadpool.
Yeah.
Right? Is that Cable?
Yeah.
Yep. So I was like, that sounds like him. So Cable shows up, and he basically repeats what Madeline Pryor already heard. You know, shut the music off. He's coming. You guys got to get out of here. So then he runs up to Madeline Pryor, who's his mom. Mm-hmm. Cable's mom's Madeline Pryor. And she
doesn't know that right at that moment. Like, she runs up and
at the moment he doesn't know who he is. She knows he's Cable, right?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
because it's weird. Because then she looks into it. She says Cable. Yeah. And she looks into his eyes and it's like, you made it. Like, I don't know. I was confused too. I was like, that's your son. She is like a loss for words. Or like,
or I think she does know it's her son though. Like, I don't think she understood that Cable was her son. Like, she's seen Cable, and then when they're like that close, and then she sees his eyes, she's like, oh my gosh, you made it. That's you. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think
he says that.
Good.
She says that, and then at that time, there's an explosion, a green explosion off in the distance, a ways away, and then he starts like, I'm too late, or his watch pulls him back to his time.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering what that, like, so he's only stuck there for a limited time and he gets pulled back?
Yeah, so I remember, like, well, I think that's how it usually works. His wristband can only put him in certain places for so long.
Okay.
Then, it's like Bishop's wristband broke, so he got stuck in that time or something. I don't know how time travel works in animated series.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not the expert on that, but he gets pulled back, and as he's pulling away, he says, "I'm sorry, Mom," or something, right? I'm sorry again, or something. I think
late again.
You say again because I feel like when time travel gets involved, again is kind of important.
Right. Because it's like, how many times did you do this? Yeah.
So, anyway, so he goes away, and at that time, just these fucking big explosions happen. Right? Is that everything? Mm-hmm. Does that lead into the end there?
I think one crucial thing we kind of missed too, though, was like the dance between Rogue and Magneto. Like, they were just dancing. Spicy. You were getting it, spicy. You know, but it was intense.
That's another word. Raunchy. You like to use raunchy.
Yeah, raunchy. But at the end of that dance, kind of before when the cable part shows up, she just says, "I can't do this." She's like, can't. I thought I wanted this. I'm paraphrasing, of course. She didn't say his word for it, but
she says something like, some things," because Gambit says it to her, some things are deeper than skin or something like that. Because a big thing for her is touch and skin. So I think that's what she says back to Magneto. They're almost kiss. They do kiss, and then she stops and, like, I think she starts crying and says that. And yeah. Some things are deeper than skin. Gambit was right, or Remy was right. Then off to the cable thing and the explosions, and then the ending. All yours, my guy. We need to take a break.
We need to take a break, man.
We'll get to it. We'll get to our break soon. We got to set up again.
So do you want to?
This is all you. Just
go into it.
Camera.
Oh my gosh.
Go into it. So the first attack, and
we don't even know what the hell's going to happen. So then the attack happens, and the gallows like ruined. I'm just like, you ruined a good ass vibe.
Just these big like green beams.
Yeah,
right? Like explosions,
and then like Rogue comes out of the ruffle, and then is Remy come out of there too?
Like they land somewhere, and then Magneto like it's and Rogue are by each other. Then I think Gambit shows up. No, Rogue and Magneto about to get exploded. Nightcrawler comes and saves him. Remember, that's what I said. Archangel makes another.
Oh yeah, he's like flying, like, hey, get to the gardens.
Get to the gardens.
And then this beam comes, like, and they're just like dissipated. It's like, holy crap! And then that's when we review. It's
Then from after Archangel, it whatever it is turns its focus towards Magneto. You see it like charging Magneto and Rogue, and then Nightcrawler comes right as the beams come in and teleports them to the gardens.
But
Gambit's there at the gardens.
Yeah, and he gets Nightcrawler gets hit, and I'm like, oh man, they killed my boy. But Magneto comes over and does like the pulse thing, and he's not fine. But
Rogue goes up. Rogue goes up and
she's trying to no gloves.
She's like scared to touch him, and then Gambit's the one that comes up and touches him. He's alive, but barely, or something.
That's a really good key thing you picked out. Yeah, because like she wants to help, but she can't. You know. Oh my god, that's powerful. But
the whole thing, like the whole sequence, right? She don't have her suit.
She's in her dress.
In that dress the whole time. Oh yeah, I just remember that too.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler's almost dead. Magneto asks Gambit, "How many?" And he says, "Too many."
Oh yeah, how many? Too many, and then. They're like, well, because they're not at the garden yet, right? They got to get to the garden, and then
No, I think they are.
Okay.
That's like the safe spot, and they bring in all the hurt ones there.
Okay. Because then they say the Morlocks. They're
Morlocks. I wrote it down. I was saying warlocks too, so I had to write it.
They're Morlocks?
Morlocks.
Okay. The Morlocks are like pinned down, and they got to go get them and a few others, whatever. And so they decide to go get them at that moment, right? Like they're
Magneto really like, all right, I'm gonna draw its fire. Well, at this time they find out what it is. Well, Gambit knows it is because he saw it, and then he says it's some kind of Godzilla Sentinel thing,
yeah.
and they show a picture of it. It's a big ass
master mold.
Is it master mold?
I feel like it's a master mold, like a really big. Because then he gives
three-headed master mold,
and then you see at one point it opens up, and then sentinels are falling out. Yeah, big sentinels. I'm like, holy cows!
Did it have a fucking pickaxe?
I don't know. I was worried about who's dying, who's not dying.
Go back and watch. If you go back and watch when it shows it walking, it looks like it has like a Grim Reaper type thing.
Okay.
Like, okay. It's like he's bringing death and bringing it with some style. All right. So Gambit says it's a big Godzilla master mold Sentinel thing, and then like I said, Magneto says, "All right, Rogue and Gambit, you'll get the Morlocks, and I'll draw its fire, and blah blah blah."
Yeah, and then like it was almost kind of like the Rogue was like, "Oh man, you know, Eric, don't do this, whatever." But shit, Magneto, like he was holding it down. I love that he was using a train as a whip at one point. But one key scene too was like it kind of shows the Morlocks and Leech was just like talking to the other one like you know, they're gonna the colored hair
flat girl, or she's like, I don't know what she is.
It just like reassuring him like they're coming, they're gonna come after us. Like Magneto told me not to be scared, and that other girl's like, no, they don't care for us. They you know, they're not gonna come for us. Nobody's coming for us. Yeah, that's what she says.
She's like, X-Men don't care about the Morlocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leech says something kind of. Him and Magneto had a moment earlier in the series. And Magneto said, "Don't worry, you never have to be scared again."
Yeah,
and he really holds on to that. Yeah, you know, like Leech is kind of just chilling in that moment, and he's like not worried at all because he really believes like, all right, Magneto's got me. And at that time, Magneto's out there fucking.
He's getting it.
And shit.
He's getting it.
Good.
And so then, where are we? So then they had a brief scene, and then we get to.
Don't leave my boy out real quick. Like that scene, that Sentinel is coming. Or it looks like it's looking, well, one of the smaller sentinels, because it's going around and mutants detected, and you hear that, and the Morlocks are talking, and you see a sentinel's eyes come through that window, like Morlocks are mutants detected, and it just shows red, but then it's fucking Gambit coming in, and he like floating on the head that he hit off, and then he lands, and the music's playing.
Yeah,
it's like fuck yeah,
that's a good scene.
That part was dope.
So I'm kind of lost at this part. Where do we go from here? I can't remember.
So from there, after that, then it gets into that scene where Magneto's kicking ass.
Okay.
But then he starts bleeding. He gets kind of defeated, and then he has flashbacks to when his.
Oh, because at first it shows the Morlocks. Are right there, and then they're about to, basically kill them, and so the Magneto comes over and does like a magnetic field, or what would you call it? Magnetized force field bubble, and protect him around them, whatever. And that master mode is like just shooting him, but it's blocking whatever. But you look over,
it's taking a toll on Magneto.
Yeah, like you could tell he's struggling, and it's straining on him, and then that's when he starts throwing metal at Gambit and Rogue and covering them up, and Rogue's trying to go and help him.
Rogue's trying to go help, yep.
And then Gambit even says like, he's trying to save us. He's trying to help us, like
because at first, he wraps him around that pole, and then Rogue's just kind of getting out of it. Then he just starts fucking covering him up with a bunch of stuff. So that part is. And
this part, I'm not gonna say I started tearing up when I seen that part, but. I think Leech is Leech is like right there holding on to him, and then he's like looks down at Leech, and what does he say
in German he says did I write it down? I can't remember if he said just don't be afraid. I think he said don't be afraid. Mm-hmm. Or you don't have to be scared, or something along those lines.
Something like don't be afraid, or like don't be scared for long, or it's not gonna be, it's be quick. Something like that. But
yeah.
Oh, that was so powerful to me. Like
because when he says that, then that Sentinel sends like a final blow to him, and then it shows a Sentinel. He stops. But no, remember. So another cool moment, Magneto moment. They end up down there before they get to the bubble. Magneto, that mutant, the Sentinel says the Omega level threat detected. And then it goes from Rogue and Gambit over to Magneto, and then it gives him that kind of badass moment. But then after it takes him out, he goes and says Omega level threat eliminated.
And it starts walking away, right?
Yeah, it walks away. And then you can go into the part. And
then this is where Rogue gets really like frustrated, mad, and then like starts gonna go right after that Master Mode, but that Master Mode just has 3 heads, and it's already gonna see this attack coming. And so Gambit sees that, and she's like rushing towards the Sentinel, the Master Mode.
So sorry to cut you off. Do the Master Mode, does it only like feel a threat when it's mutants are using their powers? Because Gambit and Rogue were like over here, takes out Magneto, and then says threat eliminated. Then it turns around, like you said, it starts walking away. It doesn't turn around and face Rogue until she starts flying towards him.
That's a good question.
Though he knows that those 2 mutants are there, is he not?
Did he see them there though?
Yeah, because he was looking at them.
Oh, he did. It went over to the Magneto. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he just didn't see them as a threat.
Don't see them as a threat until they're actually a threat.
Yeah. Okay. But then again, like Angel was helping that person fly away, and he got.
But he was using his powers, is what I'm saying. So like they're just standing there. Gambit wasn't charging nothing. Rogue was just standing there, and then Magneto was charging up or something. I don't know.
That's a good question.
But like I said, we'll come back to that because I want to touch base on something else there. So Rogue you see it in her face. She's crying. She's mad. One of her mans has just got fucking pancaked, and so she's
the sugar daddy. The sugar daddy is taking out.
She's going for the Sentinel, and you can take over from here.
Okay, and then Gambit sees this motorcycle on the ground, and like, man, I gotta save homegirl. So it looks like she's about to attack, whatever, and then that Sentinel's head turns around and is about to beam her, and then he hits her with that motorcycle. She goes flying. Yep.
Because Rogue's pretty strong, pretty powerful.
Right.
She's basically like Captain Marvel, right? Is that where she got her powers, right?
I don't think she got her powers that way, but she had anything like... She is really powerful. Like, she can, absorb anything.
I think that was her backstory.
Really?
She, like, met Captain Marvel or something, like, drained her to the point where, like, she permanently kept her ability to fly, her super strength. Because she can fly and she's really strong without taking anybody's. So, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Gambit charged that motorcycle because you can't just knock Rogue out with the regular motorcycle. So charges it, and it's like perfect timing because as soon as the motorcycle hits, I think it pushes her away, and then that beam blows up the motorcycle. So
yeah, and then Gambit's like, "Shoo, I'm gonna take this on next," and then I don't know. This is kind of your boy. I feel like you should explain this part because that's the dude, man. That is your guy.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Do it justice.
Yeah, do it justice.
All right, so like I said, beginning of the episode, series. I said Wolverine, Gambit, my top 2. X-Men. All right, so this episode took a toll at the end. I didn't cry. I thought about crying, but I did not cry. So like I said, Rogue gets knocked out, and then Gambit goes into fucking full anime running superhero mode. Says some cool one-liners. What's he say? He's like, "Cards are forever in Gambit's favor" or something. And I don't know what his plan was. I'm like, you tried multiple things already, and I don't think that was the plan. What he did what would end up happening.
You don't think that was the plan?
Anyway.
You don't think that was the plan?
I don't think that was the plan. What ended up happening was what had happened was... Alright, so Gambit has his fucking pole. He jumps up. He's got a smile on his face. And then fucking out of nowhere, it just stops. And he's got this big fucking... What would you call it? Tentacle thing in him. And he just looks lifeless. I was like, what the fuck? My face dropped. I was like, really? Like,
it pierced him on.
Yeah, it pierced him. It was in his side. I was like that? And then, like, he was like this. Then he comes up smiling. And then he says something like, I don't know what he says. He's like, or the name's Gambit. Remember it. And then he fucking charges the big Sentinel up.
You know what's crazy about that part though? When he charges it, he's not holding it. Like he doesn't have to touch it to start charging. I thought that was a cool little detail there. You know what I mean? Because like the shit's in you.
I didn't catch that. Yep.
Yeah.
But he does put his hand on it eventually, and then blows up. Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of.
Oh, it blows up. And you got okay. Go ahead.
It blows up. Like that was, like I said, the title of it was Remember It. And then, you know, it's a play on something Gambit says, like, because it's a little like cocky, and it's like, the name's Gambit, remember it. Like, I think he says it in the animated series a couple times. But, like, to see it, like, then he just fucking blows up. It's like a nuclear fucking
It takes
explosion.
the whole Sentinel out, right?
Yeah, it blows the whole Sentinel up. So I finished it. Then we come to, they show they go back to the X Mansion. Beast is on the phone with somebody. And he's like, how bad is it? Or, like, how many? And he wants to know. Then they announce on the news, like, this may be shocking to see. And it shows, like, the destroyed shot of Genosha. And here's Rogue holding Gambit in the crater. Because there's a big crater at the end. And she's just crying. All the mutants are kind of looking down on him. Like, was Leech there looking? Did you notice? I want to say that he was, but
I thought Leech was destroyed.
Magneto, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't him. Who was it? There was somebody. But like I said, there's multiple mutants kind of gathered around that crater looking in there. Rogue's holding Gambit. And then she's like, I can't feel you, or I can't feel your heartbeat, or which you couldn't already feel him. But like now she's here. No
actually holding
gloves,
him.
no power, holding him. And like that's big because she never held him, never touched him like that. Yeah. And then to be able to do it under those circumstances is sad. It just goes black, and then what did she say? It goes black, and she says, I think that's what, I can't feel you, and then she just cries.
Yeah.
And then the fucking outro music was like a slow piano
version, huh?
Theme.
Yeah.
In my feels. Like I said, I didn't cry, but I was like, damn, it's just, it was like,
I ain't gonna lie, I was teary eyed. If I watched again, I'd probably feel the same thing. But ooh, that was powerful. And like this dude here set me up, man, because he's like, it's a really good episode. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, man, just watch it. I was like, okay.
Because again, when did you didn't watch it Wednesday? You didn't get to it Friday night. So here I was. So that's the episode. So and then here I was trying to like, hey, what do you rank the overall episode? I want to give a new ranking system, this and that. And then I was gonna just really cut into like, oh, I'm gonna do a Gambit card and I was gonna tell you what I was gonna do, but I had a feeling you didn't watch it yet, so I didn't say nothing. So I'm glad I didn't kind of spoil it. I was like, why did you do a Gambit card? Like,
okay, yeah. So, you're kind of filling me out.
We're gonna rank it, which we can do right now.
Okay.
I'll go first. Obviously, sad that Gambit passed, but he went out like a fucking G. Downside, not a lot of Wolverine action, which I got a new mask here, which I didn't put it on yet, but we'll put it on eventually. No Wolverine, not a lot of Wolverine action. He got a kiss in, I guess, but I'm gonna give it a 5 though. 5 out of 5. Before we were doing like 1 out of 10 or something, 1 to 10, but I'm gonna do a 5. So for me, I have the 5 Gambit cards. Right, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be. Oh fuck, we're still buffering there to come up there.
Okay.
Just for the fact of how Gambit went out. It was pretty sick. It's pretty sick. Like I said, I could have cried. Like anything that can almost make me cry is gonna get probably the highest. What's
scoring review? Yeah.
Scoring.
Yeah. So we got the Gambit cards
even
on there.
Even to the last, you see it. Even to the last like moment, it was like true to himself. Like,
and he was dead because like he was touching him, and he would have like responded. So he's dead. He's not alive.
It was pretty bad. Here's.
What did I give you? What did I send you? I said 5. This is my ranking.
5 out of 5. Yeah, explain yours. What yours?
So there was a miscommunication here because like the concept was pull a character face or whatever, and then he says your rating. I was like, okay. So I was like, in my head, this is what I was thinking. So Jean Grey is my favorite, and I would have been 5 Jean Grey faces, and then like 4 Cyclops faces, 3 Jubilee faces, whatever, and 1 was Toad because I mean, Toad's not the best, you know what I mean? So Toad, that's how I rank Toad. So I told him that, and then he asked me today, "What do you rank it? How many Toad faces?" And I'm just like, it's too late to get my G grader. So I said, I'll rank it 5 Toad faces.
I wanted to get like, it could have been like Wolverine, like a.
Do you have it pulled up? The Toad faces?
Yeah, okay. It's not a Toad face. It's like the original Toad concept, which looks like nothing scary. Like,
so yeah. We're gonna have to work on my ranking.
I wanted the vision was to find like a funny face of your favorite character.
Yeah.
Like from the animated series. So
I was even thinking like a funny face of like that episode or whatever, because I was like looking at faces like, man, that's funny. I would use that as a ranking face, but I don't know, it's like a whole lot of work too. So 5 out of 5.
5 Toads.
5 Toads for me too.
You can see them on the side there. We'll get them on. Overall, what do we have next? Light. So 5 out of 5 for both of us. Why 5s for you?
Oh, like you. There was 2 powerful moments for me that made it 5. The Magneto protecting Leech scene, and then just to end with Rogue holding her love there. I'm really about the whole drama and theatric stuff, so those 2 scenes stick out for me. Loved it. But also got to love the culture of this show when they got to Geonosis and got to see how the mutant culture there is and things like that. Just kind of seeing a different perspective. And then also like I feel like the animation and the suspense and like they just kept throwing it at you. Like you didn't know what to expect. One, I didn't know the Gala was going to get blew up. I didn't know Gambit was going to get stabbed. I didn't know Magneto was going to get blown up.
He was going to die.
Yeah, I'm just like, and then
shocking.
Cable comes out of nowhere. Like there was just one unexpected turn after another, so they got me. This is my favorite episode, and I did send a screenshot of one of the executive producers on the show on Twitter, now called X, saying that the next 3 you think episode 5 is crazy, wait till you see the next 3 episodes. I'm just like
sending that. I should have put that up. Could have displayed it. Yeah, it was a shocker, man. Like it was out of nowhere, like you said, just jaw dropping. Like it was jaw dropping. Like I was like, really? Like it was. But let's get into some other likes, not likes and dislikes, but takeaways, I guess. Takeaways from this. So now that Cable is introduced and he's time jumping around, Gambit could be alive.
Okay.
They could bring him back, right? We agree. Like that's what some of the other videos out there were saying, which like I had touched base on before. I was like, the whole did we do it on camera, or what, did we just where I said it kind of takes away like the multiverse and the time travel, like it takes away like the emotion, like damn, Gambit's dead, like oh fuck, like I felt the same way with Iron Man, Robert Downey, when he did the snap. Like now they're talking about him coming back, like no, like he went out like, in a good way, right, like and then that's but now you're gonna kind of
it diminishes that powerful moment.
I think that's what he said. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and Joe Rogan asked him, he's like, wouldn't you feel robbed though if I did that? Wouldn't you feel robbed if I came back? I'm like, kinda, yeah, like because so, but yeah, Cable's here. He's time jumping and whatnot. So that's what somebody said. He might go back
and I feel like those beams that they were shooting, the green ones if you notice, they were shooting different colored beams. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice that.
Green was for the mutants, and then they were shooting beams at non-humans too. And the non-humans were like orangish, reddish, whatever. And I'm thinking those green beams are like, they're not disintegrating them, they're transporting them somewhere. That's what I think anyway, whatever.
Did you ever see these 2 guys? They really go on their podcast or YouTube and they go, did you ever hear that theory? And they say, no, what is it? They go back and forth like this. It's like really zoom in. It's real like suspense and whatnot. But did I freeze? I think I froze, yeah.
Froze again?
I froze. You didn't freeze. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm good. All right. Like I said, guys, the camera quality's not the best today, but we're working on it. We're making it do. The audio still goes through. Where was I at? So you said something about the beams, and I had mentioned, are they only a threat? Mutants only a threat when they're using their powers. Remember, I think it was the first episode, you said that the senator lady, you thought she was Mystique. Mm-hmm. So I went back and watched, and I checked the mutant. The Sentinel's eyes are red when it was looking at her, and like when you mentioned Rogue, like she wasn't using her powers, She wasn't a threat at the time. So eyes went normal and it turned away. So if it was Mystique, if she is Mystique, the Sentinel's looking at her. She has to be using her powers because she's just looking like the Senator. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I know it's like not a big thing, but like maybe it is.
No, the eye. I didn't catch the eye thing. So
yeah, the eyes stay red, like because it takes out some. It says mutants detected, takes them out over here, and then it shifts over to look at her, that Senator, and then her eyes are still red. The Sentinel's eyes are still red, and then that's when Magneto comes and hits it, I think. But it looked at that Senator and its eyes are red. I was like, maybe that is Mystique, because like. Her and Magneto got like some kind of
weird kind of thing there
like,
too, yeah.
Like weird, like.
Because I feel like at one point she did like follow his cause, and then at one point didn't follow his cause. You know.
We're just freezing up, aren't we?
We're both frozen.
No,
just me.
You were. Unless you're just locked in thinking about. We're just locked in for the longest time. All right, let's try to get through this.
All right.
What else do we got? We'll bring in Marisol for that. That was a pretty big. Well, I guess I'll just bring.
You just spoiled our guest.
Huh?
You just spoiled our guest.
Our special guest. Ignore that. We'll come back to that. You just spoiled the surprise.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. What okay. Rogue's mother was Mystique. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
Research. I didn't know that. So that's another thing that could tie in somehow, I'm sure.
And
adoptive. Mystique was a Rogue's adopt. Well, she played her, right?
I think it's her actual mother.
Actual mother?
And that's Nightcrawler's actual mother.
Nightcrawler's mother.
But I don't know if they ever addressed that in a show. That they're brother and sister.
An animated? Yeah. Animated? I don't think so, no. Because there's like episode back where, and they make mention of it when like Gambit sees Nightcrawler. He kind of jokes, and I hope you left your monks back at the monastery, so you killer monks or whatever. So they kind of make a callback to that episode where they go and save Nightcrawler or whatever. But I don't think they've ever like, hey, you guys are related. So maybe they bring Mystique in and, hey, you guys are like kids and you're little blue man's sister. What else? They had Gambit saves Rogue with the bike. Had that Archangel. Is Magneto dead?
No, it's he's too key component. He can't be dead. I mean, he might be dead, maybe, but they're gonna bring him back.
Yeah.
Like this is just too many losses to move forward. Like
it was like it was.
And then
so and then another thing like so I had to go back and watch somebody else reviewed it and said when it blew up Magneto it said threat eliminated or threat neutralized. He said neutralized, so it was like neutralized is not
like not killing them, but putting them down for now.
Or just eliminating the threat, not the actual mutant eliminated, or I don't know. So like the planned words is kind of important. So I went back and watched. It says threat eliminated, not neutralized. Like neutralized, I thought okay, just.
So it does say eliminated then, okay.
It says eliminated, but like, is it just eliminating the threat of the powers, the mutant? It's like I don't know. Yeah, I had that. Gambit enters with the music when he knocked off that Sentinel's head, saved the Morlocks, the Omega level threat. I always think that's cool because you're like, oh shit, there's a badass coming. Like Omega level threat detected.
What was maybe something you didn't like about the episode? I have something.
You have something with the fight with the. I think Cyclops' little blow up during his interview was kind of obviously out of character for him, but he's going through a lot right now, so I wouldn't say that. Just stick to what I've been saying: the lack of Wolverine. Like I said, he got a kiss, and that was it, man. Like, but like I said, I think they're trying to get away from Wolverine being highlighted, X-Men being the mascot. You know, like because. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, when's Wolverine gonna get an episode? You know, so lack of Wolverine for me. But I understand why. And
to respond to that, be like, go watch all the damn X-Men movies.
Yeah,
then fucking highlight on each one.
Hugh Jackman. All right, what do you got,
dude? There was times where I was not vibing with Rogue's voice actor.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Did you notice that too?
It was kind of like inconsistent. I think though, because she had, and I said this about Magneto. They have more lines and they're telling more stories. So like we're used to Rogue kind of just replying with one-liners and whatnot. Not one-liners, but like just not having whole episodes and stuff, you know. So maybe obviously these voice actors are older and maybe it's harder for them to sustain that.
I don't know.
But I agree. Her voice was kind of off and different.
Yeah.
There's times where it was, oh, that's Rogue, and there's time where it's, who the fuck? It's a whole different person.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So it just threw me off. I was like, man, okay, well, I can't have everything, you know. But it wasn't terrible, you know.
No, it wasn't bad. Have you seen the voice actors though? Like,
are they
just these old grandpas. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's old people. Like the guy who plays Wolverine, he's old man, and then so it's.
Give him some slack, is what you're saying.
Give him time. It's been what 20 years. You know,
97.
All right. Great episode. Looking forward to where we go from here. Don't know what's coming next week. But I'm hooked. You know, I'm definitely coming back.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, I need some emotional. After that, I felt sad. I'm a big emotional person. I feel and express my feelings. And after I finished that episode, I hit up Mr. Bear real quick and said some crying emojis because I'm just like.
And I sent a gift to just cry. Me too.
Yeah, I was just like, man, that episode was heavy, man. It was heavy. But that's what I love about these stories. Like, I think that's where it shows good writing if you're able to like have those kind of reactions. You know what I mean? Like, you obviously felt something. He says he didn't cry, but it's okay to cry as a man, and I don't know if he did or not. But let's say he didn't. It's powerful, you know.
I could have. Like I said, I thought of it. I was like, "Am I gonna cry? Should I cry? Like,
should I cry?"
But I didn't.
Express yourself.
All right. We're gonna. Like I said, we have a special guest. Like I kind of spoiled it already, but we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna get set up real quick, and then we're gonna finish out with the special guest here. All right. So. Be right back. we are back with our special guest here. You're not on the camera yet. I'm gonna bring you on in a couple minutes. Kind of a couple minutes. We're already over our
time limit.
We're an hour and it's right there. We're an hour and 10 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
What do we say? 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. We get so caught into conversation. It's good though.
Yep. Like I said, there was one thing that I didn't catch. I had to see a different video, and they made mention of it, and I had to go and rewatch it and see if it was actually there. And me and our special guest say hi.
Hi.
Marisol, my girlfriend, here joining us. So we watched it, and this scene popped up that I already knew about because I had to go back and watch again. But Marisol caught it right off the bat, and I don't know if you saw it either. But did you see the Watcher in the sky?
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it like by myself. Because remember, I told you, okay, I've seen spoilers online. That was one thing I saw online.
You saw that?
The Watcher, yeah. But you got that on your own?
She saw it.
That is
like,
awesome.
So Marisol was like, what'd you say? What is that? Is that Smeagol? No, a different universe.
It's a multiverse, so it might be.
You said something else too. What was it?
Yeah, I was like, is that Smeagol or...
I was like, no, you caught... I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, up in the sky. I was like, you saw
that? Yeah.
I didn't catch it because obviously the fireworks went off over here, so that took my attention. And like I said, I watched a review and...
That was a cool little insert, though. That was awesome.
So does that... Well, obviously, I had to tell her who the Watcher was, and he just, like, basically watches over all the universes, right? So, like, he's not supposed to be, like, intervening with anything, but, I mean, what if he kind of does whatever? What if he does,
yeah. But, yeah, he just watches over, like, multiverses, the universes, so, like, it could be a different timeline and stuff like that, too. And he's not even supposed to, like, make known that he's, like, there, you know? So I think that was just more, like, for the viewers and not for, like, the in-show people.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It's cool that it had
a gargoyle. I thought he was like a gargoyle.
Yeah, there is gargoyle.
Like, is that
So I showed her, like, the first intro episode of What If. It's like, oh, it's the Watcher right here. It's a big bald guy, whatever.
They actually showed up in the MCU at one time, too.
Where? In the live action MCU?
Live action.
Which
like
one?
a group of them.
Oh yeah. With Stan Lee, right?
Yeah,
like they're interviewing him or something?
Yeah, they're like talking like, hey, where are you going? They just start floating away or whatever. But...
Yeah. All right. So, our special guest, Marisol, thank you for joining us. We're going to play a game, quick game. Well, let's ask your input on X-Men 97. You watched last episode with me. What'd you think about it?
It was good. I kind of felt like Rogue was... I don't know. Like, you really like her a lot, too. So I was, like, trying not to be a hater, but I just felt like she was
not this season.
Yeah.
Before, like, we tried to figure out Halloween costumes. Like, let's be Gambit and Rogue, and, you know, and all for that. Then she's
now it's going to be Magneto and Rogue.
Shit. So far, so not really Team Rogue right now. Now we are. But.
She's, like, going back and forth, but, like, don't know why, because he really is giving Sugar Daddy, like, vibes. Yeah. But I don't know. It was really good. Trayvon was getting really emotional, and I was like, okay, I need to get emotional too.
We get on this level.
She's crying because I was getting emotional. Not because of the
no, but
episode.
We were talking about what he wears. Gambit wears on his little head, and it's like a cowl, and I think he wears it so that way she can touch him. Because do you notice that Rogue like does go like that to him? Yeah.
I didn't notice.
And I think he wears that to like
be able to feel
himself.
her, feel her some kind of way. Okay.
I just did a little research because
That's
I was
cool.
like,
had to be ready for anything.
Well, I didn't know like what the heck I was doing, but
and quote her on that.
Well, she brought that up. I was going to bring it up earlier, but I forgot. Gambit's like got limited. Did you know that? Like he was supposed to be an Omega level mutant.
Really?
But he had some work done by Mr. Sinister to like contain his powers and give us what we do see with him. But he's supposed to be like Omega level threat, which is pretty cool. So, because remember, like in his storyline, he worked for Sinister and the Marauders and whatnot. So.
Oh, he did, huh? He did work for him. Yeah. I forgot about that. All
right, we're gonna play a game. Real quick game. I'm gonna show you guys a picture. You guys are gonna write out who it is. All right. You guys,
Don't cheat,
I'm
dude.
gonna put the picture up. You can flip your phone over, Frog.
My
Give
what?
me a marker.
Flip my
Your
phone
phone
over.
so you don't see. I'm gonna put the picture up.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hold the phone up to the camera here, so the viewers can see the picture first,
Okay.
and then I'll show you guys a picture, and then you guys gotta write down who it is.
Just the name.
Just the name.
Okay.
All right. Here's our first one right here. You guys can see it. You guys get an idea of it. All right. All right. Here you go. Write down. Don't tell me who it is. Just write down who it is.
Do you want the official name?
Just give me some. Whatever
Okay,
you want to write, you can write it down. Whoever you think that is, write it down.
Oh my gosh.
Give me 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. You want to go first, Mac? Let's see what you got.
Just saw my hands.
Want me to go
Let's see what you
first?
got. Yeah. Charles Xavier, aka Professor X. Wheels.
It's not right.
Austin Powers.
God.
The little-
Is he on? Does he play an Austin Powers guy?
No, he doesn't. But I
What
think
you
he's
got from
talking
there?
just like
Was
Dr.
it just a
Evil.
guess?
Or...
Yeah, Dr. Evil, the one with the pinky, right? I don't know. Are these like...
All right, next one.
Okay.
Next
Okay,
one. All right,
all
flip the
I
page.
don't know. Okay.
Oh, flip the page. All right.
All right, here's the next one. Oh shit, you guys can see like.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, but we weren't looking.
Yeah.
We're being honest.
We kind of showed this earlier. All right, here we go. Ready? Who is this?
Oh, easy.
Which one? There's 2 people.
Yeah, which one you want to spoke on?
Just the superhero or the
the one in orange.
X-Men,
Oh my
the mutant,
gosh.
the main person that you see takes up the majority of the picture. The guy in orange.
I don't
5,
know.
4, 3, 2, 1. Can't put I don't know. All right.
I did.
No clue. What do you got? Who is it? Toad. You were just watching earlier. Come on.
5 toad faces.
That was. He did look familiar. I was like, geez, I just saw him. But
5 toad
Toad
faces.
faces.
All right, we got this one and then 2 more after this. All right.
Okay.
This is an easy one.
wait,
You
so
don't know
who
who
was
this
the
is.
first one?
Professor X.
Professor
Or
X.
Charles
Okay.
Xavier.
He's dead or taking a leave of absence right now. All right, who's this one?
Oh.
4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Frog. Cyclops, Scott Summers.
All right,
Cyclops.
extra. Just in case we don't know.
Frog. All right, one more after this. There's this one. All right, ready? Who's this?
Oh, sugar daddy.
Sugar
Sorry, don't take my answer. Jeez.
Who do you got, Marissa? Magneto. Let's go, Frog.
I don't even know.
I don't know how to spell his
smell
last
it.
name.
What is his last name?
Lyncher, right?
Lyncher, yeah. All right, last one. I should do someone else, but I just got these off of Google. I need better planning next time. All right, last one, bringing it home. Who is this one? Should I end on that one or should I get a harder one?
Harder one.
Harder one? All right, well, you guys still do this. Who is this? All right, let's
I
see.
don't
Who
even
can
know
I
his
think
real name. I do, but I can't remember it.
What do you got? You gotta show the camera. Wolverine. Logan.
Logan.
Does he have like a bunch of different names?
Old
right?
man Logan.
James.
Logan
Hunt,
Eves.
James Hewitt.
something. Howlett or Hewitt.
Jason.
Yo, boy. All right, we're gonna try to find one real quick. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the hard one.
Make it a tough one.
All right.
Not too tough, geez.
Maybe even a villain.
A villain?
You've been kind of doing superheroes.
Just tell him which one. Just write it down.
All right. I don't know if this guy's gonna be on here, but so you said villain. This is what came to mind.
Okay.
You ain't gonna have no clue who this is. I'm surprised if you're gonna know who this is. All right, here we go. Ready? Who is this?
Ooh.
If you don't know who it is, what would you name him?
What would you name
What would his name be?
Yeah, what would you name it if you don't know who it is?
Right here, Brian.
Brian.
Because they have like regular names, right?
Yeah.
I think
these
he's
villains
Russian
don't.
though. I thought.
Yeah.
What would his
you got?
Russian name be?
Right.
Right.
I don't know.
Omega Red. Yep, that's who it was. Who knows? What is Omega
Don't
Red?
test me. I know these. I don't got a life.
Does he have like an alias, or is that what it would be? His alias?
I think his alias name would be Omega Red.
This is real actual name.
No, it's
Vladimir.
his name. Vladimir.
Dimitri.
Arkady Gregorovich.
Okay.
Oh yeah, something that.
Not Brian. All right, that's gonna do it, people. Thank you for watching. We're gonna be back. Oh, Marisol, anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
I'm starting to be a little fan. Like, it's actually pretty interesting. I never thought I would like that cartoony looking. What would you call it? Like, is it anime?
I wouldn't call it anime, would you? Was you gonna call it anime?
No, I was saying like there's anime parts of it, but I
like
think
the tears and
there's anime like
me.
parts like in the newer animation.
It's comic, right? Or no?
It's
animation.
comic.
It's Marvel animation. Marvel Studios.
It is anime.
Nobody else
but it's
says
like anime is
animated
different
series.
though. I guess animated series would be fine. Because when I hear cartoon, I'm just like, ooh,
It's real, yeah.
it's not a cartoon.
But yeah.
Animated.
But you're a fan. You're falling in love with it.
Yeah.
You gotta start at episode 1.
I did already start like a long time ago, but I'm not invested like you guys are. Trying to cry.
Like you said, there's people that are even more invested, and it's crazy.
We're the novice level, if anything. We're novice.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Alrighty, Frog. Anything you want to say to the camera before we close out for the day?
No, but it was a good show or good show today. Thank you for handling the behind the scenes. Appreciate that. And that's a lot of work. Hour 23. Turn it on when you're working out. It's really good conversation. But yeah, look forward to next week. And yeah, excited for more shows.
Is it safe to say we're just gonna shoot for Sundays?
Yeah, probably Sundays would be better.
We try to go every Saturday, but Frog's a busy man, so
we should try to do a giveaway one time.
Yeah, we could. We'll plan something. Marisol can sponsor the giveaway.
Yeah,
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Later. Oh, yep. Give him that back. Lean over a little more. Yeah. There you go. Marisol. There you go.